going on, everybody? Welcome back to the video. Today I'm going to be talking to you about some of the biggest mistakes that I've made as a filmmaker and some of the lessons that I've learned the hard way. I'm going to be sharing them with you so that you don't have to. Number one, the biggest issue that I have encountered and one of the biggest lessons that I've learned, and I think a lot of you will resonate with me on this, is bad audio. Bad sound will ruin a film project. It doesn't matter how big the film project is, who's acting in it, who's directing it. It doesn't matter. If you have bad audio, your film project's gonna fail probably. Now, I'm not some big hotshot filmmaker, but Christopher Nolan is. He's one of the most well-regarded filmmakers of our time, at least in the modern day. But at the same time, his movie Tenet got a lot of bad reviews and basically bombed because it had terrible audio in quite a number of scenes, and I personally had to watch with subtitles. So definitely make sure that your audio is solid. If your audio isn't good, it doesn't matter how great your script is. If your audience can't hear it, then your film's probably not going to do that well. Especially if you're looking at a festival run, you want to make sure that that technical aspect is taken care of. The second lesson I've learned is vetting your cast and crew thoroughly and properly and making sure you have paperwork on everybody. This is something I've learned the hard way, and I'm definitely sharing with you so you don't have to. Making sure that your cast and crew are going to do as you request and as you ask, people that know what they're doing. And if you're having people volunteer, you don't want to ask too much of them, but you want to make sure that they're at least invested in your project. If they don't really believe in you as a director, if they don't believe in the script, if they don't believe in the story and the project as a whole, they probably shouldn't be there, and you probably shouldn't bring them on. These are things that will immensely help you in the future. And as far as paperwork goes, an NDA goes a long way, and so do general service contracts and liability contracts. These are things that you definitely want to have in your arsenal, even as an indie filmmaker at any level, because if somebody gets hurt and you're the director, they could sue you for that. You should have some form of insurance. I'll leave a link down in the description below to the insurance provider I use. They're great. They've always been great. So make sure to check that out and just make sure to focus on, vetting your cast and crew, making sure that they are with the program and not against it. Another lesson that I've learned the hard way that I want to share with you is focusing more on gear than your story. If you are shooting on an Alexa 65, have the best audio in the world, it's not going to save a bad script. Make sure it's something that has a hook, your beginning, middle, end, rising action, falling action. I'm just saying that if you don't focus on your script and you focus more on trying to get the camera to film it, you're doing something wrong. The only time, at least in my opinion, and hopefully people will back me on this, the only time it is acceptable to focus more, or maybe not more, but to focus as much on gear as it is your script, is sound. It doesn't matter if you have a great script. If they can't hear it, then your film project's kaput anyways. But if you have amazing sound and a terrible script, people aren't gonna like it regardless. So you need to make sure that those two are at least solid, and then the rest of it can be secondary. You can always shoot in natural lighting. You can always shoot in public parks or other public locations around the city. Point is, worry more on story, worry less about your technology and your gadgets, because they won't save you from a bad story. And the last lesson I'll leave you with is behavior on set as the director. If you have poor social skills, work on it, which is something I'm doing. But if you have poor behavior on set, it's going to bring everything else down. This is something that I myself work on every time I go on set. I'm always nice and respectful to people. And this part's just me. I like to ask people to do things. I don't like to tell them. If somebody is standing in the way, I'll say, "Can you excuse me, please?" Instead of being like, "Move." That's kind of rude. A really good example, I won't say the name of the set just for my own sanity, but I was on a very, very big movie set locally, and the DP, who I didn't know was the DP, he was like standing next to me, and I guess the entire set was kind of panicked. Something went wrong, and me, I was an extra. I went just to meet people and whatnot on set, which is actually how I found out a lot of the cast that I work with today. And at one point, the DP says, "Lose the background." Lose the background? What? Like, to me, I felt objectified. I felt like I wasn't regarded to as a person. I was an object on set that they were trying to move. An extra, bonus tip that I'll put out there: don't discuss financials in front of people. That is something that I did. And to be clear, never tell your cast or crew not to talk to each other about their financials, because in some states that's actually illegal. In my state, Kentucky, that is highly illegal. You cannot keep workers from talking about their compensation to each other. That is illegal. You probably shouldn't do it. Me as director, one day I was on set and it was the second day of filming in a 3-day production, and we ran out of money. And so I accidentally said that in front of a bunch of people, and everyone started worrying, like, oh my God, where's this project going? What are we gonna do? Like, do I need to bail? Do I need to worry about my own, status as a filmmaker or as whatever? That is something that it's just not okay to do. Just don't talk about your financial situation, whether it's good or bad on set. Don't say anything negative that could bring down the morale of the cast or crew. It's a bad idea. So those are the tips I have for you. These are the lessons that I've learned as a filmmaker, and I hope that you guys go to set with these lessons, knowing them, keep them in your heart, and make sure to avoid these mistakes. And hopefully you guys will have a great time on set. So I hope you guys enjoy the video, hope you learned something, and I'll see you next time.